Yes, welcome back to the second stanza of the program, The Conversation, coming to you from TV 360 here in Lagos, Nigeria. My name still remains Nelson Ekudumi, and I still have with me in the studio Comrade Pope Olaja, popularly called African Pope. So, Comrade Pope, on this second stanza of the program, we want to look at the ongoing discussion around the national minimum wage. Sometime last week, or upper week, sorry, the Nigerian Labour Congress went on an indefinite strike that was suspended after 2 days. And we all know the pains that we suffered as a result of that strike, in which the national grid was shut down for 48 hours, and the labor unions plunged the whole country into darkness. Some of us have come out to condemn that. Yes, they shut down the economy. We can't calculate the loss, not to talk of the trauma. So today we have seen that the discussion is still on. The governors have said they cannot pay 60,000, and even the organized private sector are also involved. The truth of the matter is that the issue of a minimum wage, the way Labour has gone about it, they have made it look as if it was only the federal government that has a responsibility for minimum wage. And we all know that even the minimum wage that is still a law till today, that has not been repealed, the 30,000 naira, that was signed into law by former President Muhammadu Buhari in 2019. As we speak, that law has been implemented more in breaches than compliance by a lot of stakeholders. And if you look at, realistically speaking, I've looked at the accounts of the states, and I'm also looking at the private sector. Realistically speaking, I think we need to admonish the labor union to moderate. We recognize that things are tough, that price of goods and services have hit the rooftop, but they must moderate their demands within the confines of the economic realities that we find in the states. Even Labour itself came out publicly to say some states are still paying 15,000. They even mentioned the state that was still paying less than 10,000 naira minimum wage. And if you look at the FAC allocation, some have said the FAC allocation, the Federal Accounts Allocation Committee to states and local government, have shot up 3 times. But even if you look at that allocation vis-a-vis the work strength of the states, you know that it is easier for the camel to pass through the eye of the needle than for the states to be. So the reality on our hands today is what we should not be in a hurry to promulgate a law that will be violated by stakeholders.
The truth of the matter is this: the 30,000 minimum wage cannot, given the current
absolutely, I agree with you.
It cannot.
Yes, I agree.
Meet up with no family or
yes,
nobody
absolutely. Even a bachelor will struggle.
Cannot cope with that.
Yes.
So things are so tough.
Yes.
But you see, then again, it's not as if we don't have the resources to pay even 200,000 minimum wage or something. If all our resources are channeled towards development of Nigeria, if corruption, we were able to, to
address
the issue of corruption, that all earnings comes to government coffers. Then again, I will even say that I don't believe that we need a centralized labor center.
Okay.
In that, because even when labor movement was labor movement during Pi, Modu, and what have you, what we had then was different unions. So when they want to call for a national strike, all the unions will come together, then, but it's not today where you now have one almighty NSC, TUC, lording it over everybody.
Okay.
Then it's quite unfortunate that, what they are asking for is the volume of cash that workers should take home. They are not looking at the value. How do we increase the value of naira? Not
the quantity, but the value of the
value
of the naira.
Then 4 items takes away money.
Yes.
Health.
Yeah.
Food.
Education.
Accommodation.
Yes.
And transportation.
Yes.
These 4.
Yeah.
So how would they make government? How can government? I expect them to to address issue like that, okay, government, come. How do you address this? How do we have health,
affordable and accessible
health,
transportation, health, accommodation,
housing, you know?
Yes.
So that you don't spend so much on
these indices you have mentioned.
Yeah, that is one. Then two, that is that. Then if we look at, we talk about corruption the other time, governors and presidents does not sign checks.
Yeah.
Who are the people responsible for corrupt practices of political officers?
Is this
the workers?
Yes, the workers, absolutely. Because political officers have a fixed tenure of maybe 4 years or 8 years.
Most of the houses in Abuja is owned by civil servants. How do they come about it? Many of them has their children abroad and private universities. Are they using their
private their earnings, their legitimate earnings
to pay for that? So will everything still go back to the same
corruption you are talking about?
Corruption and the workers themselves?
Yes.
If we want to stop corruption in Nigeria, let NSC engage its members and say, okay, don't take beyond your salary, don't allow anybody to make you do what is unlawful. Then all the resources that we are talking about will come to government coffers. That is one. Then two, why I'm even talking about centralized labor movement, the earnings of the state are different.
Yes, they differ from one state to the other, even from one local government to
another.
So, in fact, you know, the surprising thing for me is that why is it that every time when we are looking at the states, we are always looking at only federal allocation? Can't they generate? Does the state exist to go cap in hand?
No, they are generating now. They are generating.
So why are we not asking questions in that regard?
The question is what are they doing with it? So, what I'm even saying is this: that we don't. Although we talk about a minimum wage, it's a living wage.
Yeah.
That okay, this is the standard.
Yeah.
That is the way it is all over the world. That you don't pay workers less than this. So I don't expect Lagos State to pay what Zamfara will pay, for instance.
Or what Osun State will pay.
Or what Osun State will pay.
Yeah.
So, and in fact, from the First Republic, Western Nigerian civil servants earned more than the central, or what you call
federal civil servants.
Yes, then. So Western Nigerian workers earn more than everybody. Whether east, west, east, north, and even the central government.
Yeah.
So, and that leads us to the issue of restructuring and resource control and what have you. That okay, if the states has control over these things, then their resources, then they have pool of funds to take care of
their workers or their people's welfare.
People's welfare according to their capacity.
Yes,
that
absolutely.
is what it should be, not a question of somebody sitting down in Abuja, to force things on everybody. So then again, for the NSC, I think what their responsibility should be again is the workers' welfare. Have strong labor law and policy to protect the welfare of workers. Go to Chinese factories today. Look at how Nigerians
conditions of service.
Look at how Nigerians are being treated like slaves. Ajero and his people will not see that. So they are only interested in if senator is earning 10 million. Why can't you pay this in? And I say, look, the qualification is evidence that you attend secondary school. They are not even saying certificate.
Yeah.
If you can prove that you are educated up to secondary school level.
And you can contest an election and win and become a senator.
Yeah, you can even contest to become president of Nigeria.
Absolutely.
So you have the option. Either to go and join party, contest to hand. Well, I'm not saying that is good enough.
Yeah, of course, I understand.
But again, you don't base your argument on a governor is earning
this.
And senator
it's too pedestrian.
So I want to see data.
Yes.
You talk about that. Okay, let us. What is the earnings of Nigeria?
Yeah.
Then state by state.
Yes.
This is what we earn. This is the number of workers.
Yes.
Of course. I will agree to whatever, maybe 200, but I tell you, I don't need more than a quarter
of the workforce.
Of the workforce, you know, to run any state or even the federal government.
Comrade Pope, you have hit the nail on the head with this position you have taken, and it is very, for me, it is very illuminating. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is where we want to call it a wrap on this edition of The Conversation, coming to you from TV 360 here in Lagos, Nigeria. Once again, happy Democracy Day, Nigerians. Until we come your way again next time, have a great day and bye-bye.